Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. As part of my strict day extravaganza, I've decided I'm going to do double. Also because that would make it nice and even, like I said it was and realized it wasn't. So we're getting to where we left off, with talking to Paul Amsel. Amsel's expression is harder than you've seen it before. When he speaks, his voice is grim. Iger's told me of Green Winter's death. She said that he died in the same manner that Monica died. It wasn't a pretty sight. Amsel nods gravely. I know that you and Iger have had your differences. I will tell you that she was badly shaken by the sight of Winters' body. She also mentioned that you found something in Winters' safe, a package full of very old discs. May I see them? Of course. Good God. Gingerly, Amsel lifts a disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing rainbow patterns to shimmer across its surface. I haven't seen one of these since I was a boy. This is a DVD-RW, a data storage medium from the mid-2000s. I'm amazed that Winters was able to find a device that could play it. Do you know how we can read these things? He puts the DVD in his hands and quickly inspects the others. The others are damaged, some severely so, but the first one might be readable. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There's a little shop outside, the Jada Haven. Tell the proprietor, Melit Holye, she might be able to help. Total up with the cost of the device on my account. I'm on it. I don't see the reason to really fight him about anything right now. Hey boss, what can I do for you? Any thoughts about the last one you'd like to share? Well, we found Winters. That was something, I guess, but whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss. But at least we have direction to look in. Nothing right now, Dietrich. Take it easy, boss. Okay, Dante? What you got, Dante? You look down to see a pair of bright eyes set into a scruffy face looking back at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. Pet him. Woof. Iger? You got anything you want to say? Something I can do for you? Sorry. Iger glares at you, and you can taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? We need to talk about Monica. Not right now, we don't. Don't push me on this, Skorkab. One of these days we're gonna hash this out, and you can talk all you like about the clusterfuck that killed one of my best friends. But it won't be today. Alright, I get the hint. I'll give you your space. Good call. Just want to know how fucking doing. Apparently, not so hot. There's Mallet, Polier. Welcome back. What can I do for you? I'm looking for someone that can play back a DVD-RW. Really? That is old tech. Very old. In fact, just a moment, I'll go look. Sharon's rummaged through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Ah, yes, here we are. This display has old enough hookups to connect a DVD player. RCA, you know? Vintage. The player itself, though, this I do not have. You may wish to try your luck down at the junkyard. There's a scavenger there, a primitive man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the Cruise Bazaar can find your DVD player, he can. But he will almost certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. She takes a deep breath and smiles up at you. But you are not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I could give you the display for, say, 200 million? Paul Amsel said to charge it to his account. Ah, very well. I will have it packaged up and delivered to Air Amsel straight away. Best of luck finding your DVD reader. I wish you well. But suppose you have my drone fixed? It takes time. Give her time. You carry anything exotic? Actually, we have 13 karma. Let's go ahead and get smart. we have 6 points. We could go for drone control, so we can actually use that drone. It's like we have just enough points to up the intelligence one and do that. So like, yeah, we'll do that. There we go. Let's whiz. We have a bunch of money, so we can go ahead and on our way over. Talk to Ganari. The Romani patriarch is an impressive figure, an enormous man in his late 60s, burly and broad-chested despite his age. His voice is deep and resonant, and his breath is heavy with the stench of pipe tobacco. Tavin Baxtal Elf, here to conduct some business? If so, I welcome you to met back arms and ammunition. If not, keep right on walking. I have cash and I need weapons. Show me the goods. Pistols, SMG. I have model 70. I guess I'll grab the Smart Link most popular SMG. Outfits. That is some damn fine armor, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to buy it. So. Unequip. Equip. Okay, DVD player. DVD. A stout old man looks up from whatever old tech he's tinkering with to squint at you through thick, old-fashioned glasses. Pushes them up with an oil-stained finger as he straightens up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff but well-meaning tone, heavily accented with German tonality. Guten Tag, what can I do for you? Mallet tells me that you're the man to speak to about DVDs. That little shrew sent you my way, huh? The wonders it never sees. Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. Shrody Buckman at your service. The old man raises his grimy hand in salute. Need something salvaged? Some old components, Violect? I'm indeed your man. Wonderful. How about a DVD player? Let's see. I think I've got something that'll work for you. Shrody rummages through the junk heap on the table behind him. A few seconds later, he snatches a battered plastic lozenge shape from the pile. Here we go. An old Korean player I dug up last week. 2010 model, real beauty. I fixed her up and got her running, but without any disc to read, I've been mostly using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Shorty glances at the DVD player, a rueful expression on his face. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There are plenty of folks out there who really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose, given the time and trouble I took putting it back together, that I'd be willing to part for it. Oh, I'd say, well. Shorty's eyes dart over your gear, a calculated expression on his face. About 500 million? That's ridiculous. I could buy a new Trident player for them. Yeah, but you can get one of those anywhere. You ain't gonna find another one of these anytime soon. But it's not like I get offers to buy these every day, so I'll cut you a deal. How's 350 sound? Have that and you got yourself a deal. I'm not over fond of your tone, but it's not every day I even get asked to sell any of my projects. That'll be 175 million if you please. Here you go. Shorty gingerly picks up the ancient device from the table and presses it into your hands. The plastic is scuffed and worn, it rattles a bit when you move it. Give her some good use, okay? Okay. Let's go ahead and let Amsel know and see what's on the disc. It did say to watch me. I can't think of a better thing to do with it than watch me. It seems that Amsel has assembled a team in your absence. They stand in a group around the old display you had Mallet deliver. On their faces you can see excitement and apprehension, curiosity and dread. Skorkab, have you procured a DVD reader? I have, it's right here. Good, this should only take me a moment. Amsel disappears behind the ancient display. After a few minutes of fiddling with its battered inputs, he reappears, a satisfied look on his face. Everything appears to be functional. This should be ready to play. Well, don't keep us in suspense. Start the damn thing already. Skorkab went to the trouble of fetching everything. Let him do the honors. Amsel steps back, clearing a path for you to access the antique machine. A soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life and a menu fills the screen. Play track 1. The screen goes black, and a cheerful digital chiming sound comes out of the display's speakers. A crackle of static fills the air, coupled with a shrill electronic whine. After a few moments, the display goes live. A disheveled-looking man appears on the screen. His eyes glitter with excitement. The timestamp on the screen is 2034-09-15. Hermie, I think we found her. After all this time, Fierschwing. I knew that she wasn't dead. His speech is jittery. You can hear the urgency in his voice. She survived the Dragonfall, just as I've always said. I knew it, and I was right! The screen explodes into static, and the electronic whine in the background sharpens to a needle-like pulse of high-pitched sound. Somewhere in the background, Dothill lets out a low whimper. The screen clears, and the excited face is closer to the screen than it was before. The words spell out in a breathless tide. Taking a team into the SOX receiver. The radiation be damned. We will take appropriate precautions, of course, but we must go. Hermie, I think the body might be nearby as well. Somehow she has survived for all this time. The screen explodes into static once again, then clears. The figure flickers across the screen. May not be back for some time. Look after Mom, okay? I worry about her. And Hermie, stay safe out there. I know things are heating up in Berlin, and I know you. Student protest, civil uprising, you'll be in the middle of it, I'm sure. Just stay safe, alright? I'll do my best to do the same. I don't know what's going to happen when I step into the SOX, but I do know one thing. If the fire wing is still a danger, I will put an end to her. Once and for all. The display goes black, and then the background whine fades away. After a moment, you find yourself deposited back at the menu screen. Play track 2. The screen goes black for a moment, then a figure appears on the screen. Your late client, Green Winters. His elbow is planted on the table that he's seated at, and his chin rests on his palm. The other hand is wrapped around a bottle of cheap whiskey. The timestamp on the video reads 2053-12-25. Found the message Adrian left me all those years ago. Got it cleaned up as best I could. Strange hearing his voice again. It's good to hear him, even if he did insist on calling me Hermie. Dr. Adrian von Claire, the hero of the people, the Dragon Slayer. My brother. He grimaces and rubs his eyes. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. Alright, so I'm going to start recording these DVDs again. For me, for Adrian, whoever might wind up watching me. Every time I do this, it winds up feeling like a waste of time, but I keep doing it anyway, on the off chance I'll find something important. If I stumble into the clue that leads me to my brother, I know that I'm going to want it on film. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, after all. No sense in quitting now. Christ, 20 years. All this time and still, no leads, even with all my contacts, all my resources. Takes another long swallow of cheap liquor. Even my legendary bullheadedness. I've made no progress at all. I haven't heard of a single goddamn thing. Want to hear something funny? The closest I've gotten to a clue was a rumor. Apparently a team emerged from the SOX a while back. Nobody's clear on the date, but... And get this. Leans into the camera and gives a conspiratorial wink. Supposedly they vanished without a trace. He upends the bottle, drains it, slams it back down to the table. His eyes are rimmed with red. Not much of a rumor, considering. I already know that you're gone, big brother. I live with that every day. Abruptly, Winter leans forward and reaches for something off screen. The display goes black. A few seconds later, the main menu returns. There's a grinding sound from the DVD tray, and Green Winter's image loads up on the screen. There's an eager look on his face. The timestamp on the view says 2054-10-12. Stumble upon this archival footage of Fierschwing's original attack, months before the Dragonfall. Easy to forget how devastating it was. Adrian says a lot of people were bringing her down. I've got the footage all queued up to play. Starting it now, additional comments to follow. The slow whir of the DVD players pitches to a higher pitch. A distorted, wavering image blooms into being on the screen. Timestamp at the upper right corner of the screen marks the date, July 6, 2012. It's difficult to make out what you're seeing at first. The scene is dark and smoky. Telltale flashes of emergency vehicles flicker on the periphery of the screen. The camera pushes in, and you can make out two figures standing in a ruined landscape. All at once, the sound cuts in. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are coming to you live from Stolberg. A few hours ago, the Dragon Fierschwing launched an unprovoked attack on the sleepy Harz Mountain town. You can see the results behind me. Fire, ashes, and blood. We are joined tonight by a survivor of this latest, and most horrifying, attack. The reporter turns to face a pale man standing behind him. Sir, I understand you've been through a terrible ordeal. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us tonight. The camera switches to the focus to a middle-aged man with a haunted look in his eye. He stammers out a reply. Yes, of course. If you could, sir, could you please tell the people at home about your experience with the attack? It was horrible. Just pure chaos. So many people are dead. People I knew roasted alive or trampled to death trying to escape. My own house was burned to the ground during the attack. My family, we have nothing now. Made it through the attack, though? Your wife, your kids? Yeah, we all made it, thank God. We rode out the attack in a small shelter. Me, my wife, and our 2 daughters. The shelter, it protected us. The heat was just unbearable. We couldn't have stayed in there much longer than we did. How long were you holed up in there? 3, maybe 4 hours? I don't know. We just stayed inside until the heat died down and the screaming stopped. And what happened after that? No, it was over, when the air cooled down. Porta nods and the man continues. We stepped outside. There was nothing left, just smoldering wreckage and a dense black cloud of oily smoke. A stench in the air. God, that smell. It smelled like roasting meat. There's a long pause. From the tortured look on his face, you can tell that the man is struggling to decide whether or not to continue speaking. Eventually, he does. My girls, they found what was left of their nanny outside. Her body, what was left of it, was slumped across the shelter door. I keep telling myself that I couldn't hear her pounding to get in, but that isn't true. I could. I just couldn't bring myself to open that door. I couldn't risk my family like that. Not for her, not for anyone. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak with us. Yeah. You heard it here, an absolutely chilling account of tonight's attack. Again, the town of Stolberg has been reduced to ash, another victim of the fire wing. Stay with us for more up-to-the-minute reporting on Fürschwing's Reign of Terror. Green Winters' face reappears on the screen. Okay, it's time for a new approach. Adrian's a complete dead end, that much is pretty clear by now. So I'm going to do some digging on Fürschwing instead. Let's see where this goes. The screen abruptly goes black as the video cuts off. A few moments later, you find yourself returned to the main menu screen. This is just the Sean reads everything to you episode, isn't it? The DVD player ramps up to speed, filling the air with a shrill whining sound. Green Winters' image appears on the screen. The timestamp on the video reads 2054-1031. Well, that was a bust. Little progress on Fürschwing either. He shakes his head. I don't know. It's weird. The information is there. It's just wrong somehow. It's too well laid out. Too simple. Real life is messy, and this feels just a little too neat. That's not the only thing that's nagging at me. I'm getting that tingly feeling all up and down the back of my neck again. Feels like I'm being tracked. I'm no Matrix hot shot like Clockwork or Schaefer, but I'm good enough to know when someone's on my scent. Gotta install some new security measures. Can't be too careful. Winters' image disappears. The display goes black. A few seconds later, the main menu returns. The display goes blank for a moment. Then the face of Green Winters winks onto the screen. He is seated at a computer. Off to his left, an enormous monitor fills the screen. His voice carries an edge of panic. The timestamp on the video reads 2054-1109. Christ, I'm getting too close to something. There's a trail of bodies, and there have been disappearances. Gearbox, Martian, Peregrine. They've all just disappeared within the past few years. Gearbox just went AWOL yesterday, and they're all making the same sorts of inquiries about the fire wing that I've been. There are ghost stories spreading around the Decker community. Stories about Deckers disappearing and then showing up again later, but wrong somehow. Scary stuff, and I'm starting to think it's true. Could these rumors be related to what's happening here? Am I being paranoid? He pauses for a moment, as if seriously considering the question. And he shakes his head and slams his fist on the table. No, I don't think so. Something big is happening here, and I'm right in the middle of it. Iger cuts in. That's a bit of a leap. One other thing. Tolstoy told me a story about a kill team that might be related to all this. Apparently a Decker named Hellbore posted a fear about Fürschwing to the Shadowrun BBS about 5 years ago. About an hour later, a mil-spec team showed up in Meat Space and cooked her entire apartment, with her in it. If what Tolstoy told me is true, Hellbore live posted the event. Hellbore live posted the event. She described her killer, the great big orc with skin grafts. Then the whole thread disappeared, gone without a trace. Leap, Igerlove? Sounds like he's on the right track to me. Iger holds her silence, but concedes the point with a small nod. On the screen, Winter pauses. He looks like he's working up to something. Finally, he speaks. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This has gotta be Fürschwing. All of it. Adrian was right about it. She's still alive and she's out of the SOX. She's covering her tracks, working the shadows, preparing to rise again. And that means that I have to find you, Adrian. For everyone's sake. Thankfully, I've got a lead. For the first time in 2 decades, I've got a solid goddamn lead. I backtraced all the Matrix nodes that Hellbore was looking into, back before she got cooked. Whoever's been purging the Matrix didn't think about that, and I found that she turned up. Winters stabs a few keys on his keyboard, and an image expands to fill the screen of his monitor. A satellite photo of a rural landscape, annotated with GPS data. A set of map coordinates. So now I've got a target. A place to start digging. The Harfeld Manor. Conveniently located on an isolated stretch of countryside, miles away from prying eyes. Matrix records indicate that some sort of data vault exists beneath the estate, so that's what I need to get into. And this is where we came in. As if on cue, a familiar images winks onto the monitor on Winter's left. I think I'm going to tap Schaefer for this job. She's got the skills to bypass whatever security they're running out there, and she's gullible enough to take the job in the first place. I'll feed her some line about flux state security, and she'll eat it up with a spoon. I warned her. Amsel's voice is choked with rage. I warned her. On display, Winter's mouth parts into a broad grin. Time to put my plans in motion. By this time tomorrow night, I should have the information I need. And on the off chance that Schaefer gets taken out, well, that'll tell me something too. Can't make an omelet and all that. Until then. Winter's image disappears. The display goes black. A few seconds later, the main menu returns. When you play the 6th track, a small window appears. You recognize the scene in the window. You're looking at the tattered drapes and nicotine-stained wallpaper of Winter's hotel room at Das Kesselhaus. Timestamp on the video reads 2054, 11:10. There's a blur of motion, and the haggard form of Green Winters lumbers into frame. Suspicions confirmed. Schaefer dead. Christ. Winters reaches a shaking hand off camera. A moment later, returns clutching a cheap plastic drinking glass. He gulps something down, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, takes a deep breath. Okay. Back up, slow down, start from the beginning. When he closes his eyes, he makes a visible effort to calm himself. When he speaks again, his voice is steady. Got the call from my contact in the cruise bazaar. Schaefer killed on the estate run. Matrix security at the estate cooked her brain. Considering Schaefer's skill and experience, on-site IC must have been extreme, even by Berlin standards. Security of that kind costs money, real money. Given the evidence uncovered so far, corporate involvement is unlikely. The connection of the fire wing is too strong. So let's come right out and say it. The dragon is what we're dealing with here, and the smart money says that she's coming for me next. Well, I won't go down without a fight. I've still got my contacts, still got my connections, and the flux stick can be a hell of a weapon for a man who knows how to manipulate it. Winters takes another long pull from his glass, grimaces and swallows. Time for me to make my play. Ghost stories or no, missing deckers or no, I've got to jack in the Matrix and start pulling strings. The countermeasures I installed earlier should be enough, more than enough to keep me safe for the 20 minutes I'll be in there. Winters drains the rest of the glass, then tosses it over his shoulder. A moment later, you hear the dull, clattering sound of hard plastic on linoleum. Schaefer's death was tragic. She was a staunch supporter of the F-State, but still, all things considered. Winters fishes for something off-screen. A moment later, his hand reappears clutching a data jack cable. Better her than me. He plugs the cable into his head and the screen cuts to static. As your finger nears the eject button, a black screen cuts in over the static. A moment later, Green Winter's haggard face appears. If you're watching this, then I guess they caught up to me. They will be after you too now. Whoever you are, whatever you think you're after, you need to find Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Not because he's my brother. Because if Fierschwing is rising again, he's the only one who can stop her. You've seen what happens when people get too close to this. I'm dead and dozens of others have died. You'll be next unless you can find Adrian. The screen cuts back to static. The message is over. The DVD tray slides out of the reader. Well, shit. Paul? The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've just seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon. Son of a bitch. Green Winter set us up against a dragon. The Fire Wing. Amsel's voice is thick with dread. She lives. Wait a second. We don't know for certain. Dietrich lays a hand on Iker's shoulder. The evidence seems pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that secret facility that we stumbled into was her lair. The room falls silent. Iker and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The decker that Winters got those coordinates from was posting about the Fierschwing. Then she was killed by that same orcish bastard that attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Harfield Manor. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me the dragon is down there, Skorkab, someplace far beneath the surface. I think we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that, given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it. Okay, going on the assumption that there is a dragon, and that she will come after us, what do you propose that we do about it? Anyone have suggestions? What we need is information. I think we should pick up where Winters left off. We need to find Vauclair. And how are you planning to do that? Winter spent 20 years searching for him, and it got him nowhere. With the help of an information broker. I'll go talk to Altug then. For this, no. Herr Burek-Gazi is very capable. But a task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make contact with a premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Alice? A most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Schockwellen writer. She provides information and retrieval services to the F-State. Amsel turns to the computer console behind him and runs his fingers over the virtual keyboard. The machine begins to hum. If Winters was right, if Claire is still alive, she can help us find him. The console spits out a stick of black plastic. Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here, your key to speak with Alice. The cred stick? Amsel nods. An encoded cred stick, yes. 10,000 new yen. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Skorkab. Make this meeting count. Where do I need to go? Take the U-Bahn to Altstadt Spandau. There you will find a connecting tube that locals refer to as the rabbit hole. You will find a method of contacting Alice there. Please hurry. While you're out, I will work on acquiring new contracts for the team. Alice is the best there is at what she does, and her services carry a price tag to match. God damn. Shit got spicy fast. Went from, let's avenge Monica, to, oh shit, there's a dragon. Okay, let's go ahead and board the train. Hey, Dante joined us. Also, I love the fact that we're talking to Alice as we enter the rabbit hole, or we're going to talk to Alice in the rabbit hole. The only active console in this derelict span of U-Bahn platform is an old arcade machine. The CRT monitor set into the machine's cabinet glows invitingly. Cheerful, pixelated graphics swirl and dance on the screen. Investigate the machine. At the base of the controller panel, you find a cleverly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic and appears to be the approximate shape of a typical cred stick. Insert Amsel's down payment into the machine. Internal motors grip the cred stick, pull it into the machine. It disappears into the port, and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video image fills the screen. The picture is dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright and colorful sprites that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from an old detective movie, from the Venetian blinds on the windows to the great swaths of shadow that paint the walls black. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is the silhouette of an impressive-looking woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of the cigarette glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light, and you catch your first glimpse of Alice. Her face is all hard planes and sculpted angles, with high cheekbones and almond eyes. Lips are painted a frigid blue, but the look in her eyes is even colder. A head of lustrous black hair is interspersed with flowing streams of cyan light. Alice exhales a plume of smoke, then tips her cigar into a nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you, and her lips curl into a humorous smile. We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for. I need you to find someone for me. Dr. Adrian Vaclair. She raises an eyebrow. The Dragon Slayer. That's interesting. He's been missing for a long time. Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him? She looks you in the eye, and then her smile disappears. Her voice is all business. If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State, and I'll still track him down. If he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse. Speaking of corpses, Alice, I think that I might know who you really are. Oh? Alice leans towards you. Her smile spreads into a predatory grin. Do tell. There was a member of Echo Mirage named Alice. Alice Hafner. She died back in 2029, fighting the crash virus. Rumor has it, she still exists in the Matrix. Still calls herself Alice, too. Interesting theory, but I fear that my price to confirm or deny it would fall well outside your price range. For now, let's get back to the business at hand. Let's. Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I've finished, you're going to bring me a cred stick encoded with an encryption key that I'll provide you. That cred stick will have 50,000 nuyen on it. When I get my cred stick, you get your information. This is the deal. Take it or leave it. Alright, you've got a deal. Okay, but remember, you say go and I go. From that point on, you're on the hook to pay me my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this? Yeah, we're square. Good. I'll be in touch. The screen goes black. Moments later, the machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached the arcade cabinet return. There's nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. Can't wait for Alice to turn up dead. Actually, you know what? Dante. Pet. Woof. Who's a good Dante? So I wonder if she could, assuming the theory that we had was right, I wonder if she could find someone who never, and I mean never, touched the Matrix. Lived out in the woods. Skorkab, did you make contact with Alice? Yes, I did. She accepted your payment and I ordered the search for the information we need. Very good. I can't imagine this will be cheap. What was Alice's stated price? You're right on that count. 50,000 nuyen. He shrugs. It is about as I had suspected. Thankfully, we are prepared for this. I have established a connection with a number of new clients. You can find information on the jobs logged on your mission computer. One jobs file is already there. While you're working to earn Alice's fee, I will continue to dig around for clues involving Verschwin. If she is, in fact, roosting under the Hartfield Manor, there must be some evidence to support that fact. A dragon is a large thing to hide after all. Be careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica. I will never forget. Don't worry, Skorkab. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way, through contacts and deduction and careful observation. I will not jack in the Matrix until this entire sorry episode is finished. That's probably wise. Speaking of doing things the old-fashioned way, Mallet is working to recover information off those other DVDs. It's a painstaking process and it will not be quick, but she is optimistic that she will be successful in time. Finally, I've been checking up on our friend, the orc with the skin grafts. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised as the situation develops. Sounds good, Paul. Go check up on those jobs. One last thing before you go, Skorkab. Samuel Beckenbauer wanted me to pass a message to you. Do you know the orc who runs the shelter across the way? Yeah, we've met. Ah, well, he has a job for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised it would prove worth your time. I'll keep it in mind. Okay, mission computer. Let's see what jobs on here. Inbox. Commissioning your services. We'd like to arrange a meeting between you and one of our representatives. You'll find him at the cafe nearby. His name is Luca Dirtware. He will be expecting you. Come alone. Okay, we have a humanist data steal. Samuel Beckenbauer is approaching with an offer of work. Apparently, an associate of his has learned some disturbing details regarding the Berlin chapter of the Humanist Polit Club. Polit Club? We would like to contract your team to investigate these rumors. Beckenbauer was unwilling to discuss the specifics of the job in your absence. He has requested that you speak with him in person at your earliest convenience. Amsel's face winks onto the screen. Here you will find the complete transcript of my conversation with Herr Fuchs, a potential client. Fucks, really? The job seems to be relatively straightforward, and the payout is reasonable. One word of caution before you proceed. There are aspects of this run that you might find morally troubling. Be sure to read and understand the specifics of the job before accepting. If you do accept, you'll be expected to carry out the requirements of the job in full. After reading the transcript, you may choose whether or not to accept the job. If you respond in the affirmative, our client will be notified and I will make all the necessary preparations for the run. Herr Amsel? Yes, I am here. To whom am I speaking? You may call me Herr Fuchs. Very well. Please describe the work that you would like to have done. Straight to the point. I like that. Very well. I'd like to retain your team's services to clean up a mess. Go on. My employers dispatched a team of operatives to conduct a quiet operation at a local Schering Pharma AG lab. Unfortunately, they botched the job. The team was eliminated, but we have reliable information that one of the operatives has been taken captive. If this rogue agent were able to spill information leading back to my employers, it could lead to a corporate war. A great many lives would be lost. My employers would like nothing more than prevent such a tragic turn of events. Ah, I see. You wish to retain my team's services to tie up loose ends? Exactly. The captive operative is a rigger by the name of Torvald Instead. We need him neutralized before he can inform us on us to his captors. As Instead and his team have already put the facility on high alert, stealth will not be an option. Your team will need to shoot its way in, eliminate Instead, and exit the facility. A straightforward enough task and well within my team's capabilities. What are you offering in terms of pay? 15,000 new yen. This offer is non-negotiable. Very well, I pass the offer on to my team. Very good. Good day, Herr Amsel. Decline for now. Walk away. Okay. So, with that, I will leave you. I'm Skorkab. You can find me on YouTube as Skorkab and on Twitter at Skorkab, Skorkab. You can also find me as Balthazar Black in Duke Merle's 3.5 D&D setting, Underdwelling, where I play a charming rogue. As always, Skorkab, signing off.